All right, welcome back to 10.7 volumes of prisms and cylinders. So this time, instead of doing area and surface area like we've been doing, now we're stepping up our game and we're doing volumes of prisms and cylinders in this case. So on this one, volume of a prism is the product of the base and the height. And remember, base, that's area of the base. So area of the base times the height. So in other words, in this case, it'd be length times width times height. In this case, with a triangle, it'd be area of the triangle, so 1/2 base times height times the times this height. Okay. So yeah, again, this is area. So find the volume of a prism. We need to find the area of the base first. So remember, prisms have two bases. So we find the area of one base, and then multiply by the height. Then we have volume. So area of a triangle remember, is 1/2 base times height. So in this case, area of the base is going to be, because the base is this triangle right here. So 1/2 the base, 5, times 12 times the height, which is right here, 20. And when you plug all that in your calculator, you get 600. So the volume of the prism is 600 cubic, because we're dealing with the volume now, it's cubic, not square, cubic inches. All right. Volume of a cylinder, again, B is the area of the base, not just the base itself, the area of it times the height. So in other words, it becomes area of a circle, remember, is pi r squared, because the base of a cylinder is a circle. So if I find the area of the circle, which is pi r squared times the height, now I get the volume. So find the volume of the cylinder, pi times the radius. Well, if the diameter is 20, that means the radius is 10. So I go pi times 10 squared times the height, which is 32. And you plug that all into your calculator. So yeah, that's 3,200 pi. Now it says find the capacity in, I'm reading up here, find the capacity in gallons of the recycling bin shown round to the nearest whole number. Use the fact that 1 inch cubed equals 0.004 gallons. So we're going to convert this. So 3,200 pi inches cubed times 0.0041. So when I take 3,200 pi times 0.004, I get roughly 40 gallons. So the capacity of the recycling bin is about 40 gallons. So in other words, for every cubic inch, 0.004 gallons fits into it. So if the volume, in this case was 3,200 pi, if I multiply that by 0.004, it tells me how many gallons it'll hold. All right, find the volume. So remember, it's area for a prism is, or not area, volume of a prism is area of the base times the height. So in this case, that's volume equals 13 times 5 times the height, which is 6. And when you multiply all that together, you get 390 meters cubed. Okay, on this one, again, it's volume equals area of the base times the height. Well, in this case, that's pi r squared times height. So volume equals pi times the radius, in this case, which is 5 squared times the height, which is 11. And when I plug that all in, I get 864 cubic feet. All right. The last one here. What if it's not just a normal prism or cylinder? What if it's combined? Well, what I want you to think about is that this shape right here together with this shape really just forms two half cylinders. Well, the good news is I know how to find the volume of a whole cylinder. So this is just a half of one right here. And this is another half of one here. And so together they make a whole one. So if I find the area of the whole cylinder and this spot in the middle is just one big rectangle. So I have a prism in the middle, and I have a half cylinder on one side and a half cylinder on the other. So find the area. So this is find the area of a base. Each end of a base is a half circle with a radius of 2 meters because that's showing the diameter is 4. So the radius must be 2 meters. Together, the ends form a complete circle. So area of a rectangle plus area of a circle. So in other words, it's length times width plus pi r squared. So I'm going 6 times 4 plus pi r squared, which was 2. So I get 24 plus 4 pi. Now that's the area of my base. Remember, area of the base is this plus this plus this, which we are calling one cylinder. That's where we get length times width, which is the area of the rectangle, and then pi r squared, which is the area of the circle. Okay, now volume equals base, which is what we just found, times the height. So 24 plus 4 pi times the height, which was 3. The height of the whole thing is 3. So that gets me 72, I distribute, plus 12 pi, which is roughly 110 when you plug that into your calculator. So the volume of the solid is about 110 cubic meters. All right. And that concludes 10.7. Let me know if you guys have any questions about that one. Thanks, guys.